Hello world and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome! I am Nikki Renee and today we are doing something that we've done before but differently. Like the title says, we are doing my reading journal setup for this year, but also the flip through, but it's also not exactly a setup. Let me explain. I've actually set up, well, let me be so for real with you. I'm filming this, the intro and the outro, in July, but I filmed all the setup and everything in April, I think. So this video is more so flipping through my 2026 setup for my reading journal and doing the titles together. So we're kind of setting it up together, kind of flipping through a little bit of the best of both worlds, because I despise doing the entire setup on camera and having to edit all of that because I'm so indecisive. I don't know what I'm doing for each spread until I really get there. This time things were a little bit different because I ended up using some different materials, as I will tell you. I think all in all it came out so good, so fun. I'm so happy for you to see the new things. And I think maybe now that I'm out of college, because this is post this part of the video is post-graduation, now I might have more time to keep my butt in gear to keep up with this. Am I caught up with it right now in July? Spoiler alert, no. Am I about to get caught up with it in July so that I can do the mid-year flip through, which is probably not even gonna go up mid-year because it's already July? Anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. It was definitely really fun to go through. Some things are new this year. Like I said, I got some new mediums, some new techniques, some new colors. I think the change I'm looking for is equal to like a 2 a.m. reorganize your entire bedroom. But the change that I got was more of a, you live in a dorm, you can't move literally anything because the specifications of everything have to stay exactly where they are for the room to even be functional. And therefore the only thing that you can even adjust at all is just like your phone home screen. And that lasts you for a little while, but then you're like, the itch comes back. I think this is the phone home screen. I think next year is going to have to be the 2 a.m. reorganization. So here is my journal for this year. It is from Archer and Olive. I don't remember the exact name of it, so I will make sure to put that. But without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to start actually by talking about some of the materials and things that I used this year. Some of the stuff is the same, but like I said, it does look a little different this year, so it is a little bit different. Also, if the lighting continues to sort of fluctuate, I'm so sorry. I cannot help you. I cannot do anything for that. It is just partly cloudy outside today. So I'm so sorry. So without further ado, let's start off with what I can show you that I have with me currently, and then I'll explain everything else and I'll put pictures. So first, every year I use Sakura Pigma microns. I use a pencil always to mark everything out, and then I use rulers, but I'm using the rulers mostly with my microns. So I have 5 different sizes here. I think these are the only sizes that I used. I do have a 10, but I don't believe that I used the 10. So I have an 8, a 5, a 3, a 2, and a 1, and I love these pens. I have been using these same pens basically for every year that I do my reading journal. I have just added some new pens sometimes, but mostly it's the same pens. Like this year, I usually use the 5 and the 3, but this year I added the 8, the 2, and the 1. And it's so cool. It looks so good. Next is the Tombow dual brush pens. I have many here. I love them. Also, we will have Junie in the background. So these are all of the markers, and I'll just go through them in whatever way. So this is the 800. It's a pale pink. I'll put it over here. This is the 623. It's like a light purple. This is the N95. It's a really, really light, I believe, cool toned gray. The 553 is like a really nice, almost muted sort of blue. That's kind of what I go for typically, is like a muted palette that just goes together, and I think it looks really good with the aesthetic that I tend to do for my reading journal, which I will explain shortly. So then we have the 992, and this is my medium brown. N12, nope, that's a 9. 912, this is my orange. 991, this is my yellow. This one is used much more sparingly than the others. This is 990, this is my light brown beige. 192, this is my green. 977, this is my dark brown. And then lastly, I hope I'm not missing any colors. I don't think I am. This is the 772. This is like my pink reddish sort of color. And these are just all of the markers that I used. Some of them more than others, but my main palette has normally been these colors. And then over the years, I've sort of added these ones. My yellow I use a lot more sparingly, but I'm using it a little bit more this year, which is kind of fun. My purple I've decided to start using more. If you can't tell, I tend to go for a sort of rainbow aesthetic with things, minus the yellow, unfortunately, just because I think these colors look really nice, and then adding on the browns. And then I just added on some nice accent colors that I thought really worked well. And then this is just my palette, and it's so big, but it works really well, I promise. You're gonna see, it works so well. Other than that, I used glue, I used stick glue and liquid glue, which this was my first time using liquid glue, so that was definitely an experience. And then I also used some paper packs this year, and I believe one of them is the vintage and one of them is like the academia, and they're from Michaels. This was my first year using paper packs. I usually just print out some pictures and designs and stuff that I want to add, and then that's that. And then lastly, the thing that we're really going to be doing today in the finishing of this setup is the titles. So if you're new, you might not know, but I use sticker paper for my titles, and I never know what color that I specifically want to use for any page. So I just do all of the words written out in the same colors, just over and over and over again. So what reading is in 7 colors, and these are the main colors that I wanted for the titles from those Tombow dual brush pens, and then that's where they kind of also come together, is for the titles. So this is what we're doing today mostly. I have a few other things that I just need to finish up in the journal, but mostly we are just going to go through and put in the titles because I haven't done that. So now let's finally open the journal and start looking at her, all of her beauty, and getting done with the setup. I really like this one. I think the green and just the design, it's so pretty. So we open it up, and then there's this design here. Sometimes I will do like a collage here, but now because Archer and Olive has started putting these embossed designs here, I don't do that anymore because I just like that so much. And then we have the nameplate, and then I put this quote here. I love this quote. I think I used it in like every reading journal I've done so far. I really, really like it. But I actually used it because, spoiler alert, I used liquid glue this year, like I said, and the pages were not holding up quite well with it. But as you can see, we have my nameplate here, and we have my name here. So we're gonna go ahead and put that in, because I have really bad handwriting, I've been told, by many people, especially my sister. So I don't really like to write my name because I'm never really good at it, which is so interesting that you can have your entire life to be good at something and then it's my name that I'm bad at. Is that crooked? I think it looks nice. I think it looks okay. And then there we go. We have my name in here, and then the reading journal is really ready to start. So then flipping the page, we have the title page, and that is what we have going on with this first sticker page of titles. So we have the reading journal, but then we also have the year here at the bottom. This is only 5, so the rest of them must be somewhere else. But so it'll go 2026 reading journal, and there I found them. And it's so easy to like really find everything. I should have organized things maybe by color. I thought about this as I was doing my Cricut, but I should have probably organized everything by color. But I think doing it this way is fine because actually the Cricut will organize everything by the actual word instead. Which brings me to, I do use my Cricut for many things, lots of things, all the things. And If you're wondering, I do use my Cricut with the Tombow dual brush pens. Like I said, that's what these are. And to get it to actually fit, I use the Craverland adjusters, and I've been using it for years now, and I love it. We have the 2026 here in green and pink, and then everything else is on this page. So then this is what it's looking like, and I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. I might add some more stickers onto this, which if you're from these videos before, you would know. I'm not really a sticker person, but I do like kind of adding a sprinkle now. I'm getting more used to it. So this is what it looks like now. I think I'm going to put 2026 here, maybe reading, and then journal. So kind of going like that. Maybe. And I know that I want to use at least one color. I'm okay with using one of the browns, but I know that I really want to use at least one color because it is very brown now. So maybe purple, 2026. Start off with the purple like my name because it is my favorite color. And then it is a little bit small. Where are my tweezers? I thought I brought my tweezers. My craft tweezers, also from Archer and Olive. I love using craft tweezers. I think it makes it so much easier. I love it. So I'm thinking maybe put 2026 here. Oh, that's crooked. I can feel it in my bones. Okay. Nice. And then reading and journal. I think that'll look really nice. So I've done purple. What do I do now? Oh my gosh. So obviously I can't do that. The R isn't quite there. What if I do blue and then journal in green? I don't know. I think that could look okay. Kind of have an like a rainbow effect going on there. And it'll lead nicely into the next page, which you'll see why. So I think that's the plan. We'll do reading in, if I can get the sticker off naturally. We'll do reading in blue. The only downside to using my Cricut is that it is a bit older and sometimes it just doesn't really cut all the way through. I have to test it a lot with my sticker paper. Make sure that you're testing whenever you use something that's not like a Cricut approved material. So we'll do reading there. Is that crooked? I feel like it is. It looks okay on camera, so it's okay. I don't feel like picking it up to try and do it again. I will say the other nice thing about just doing every word in all of the colors is that if there's a title that has if there is more than one title with the same word, then you know that you're going to have enough of that word. Oh, that's a little bit too far over, I think. Maybe here? Oh, that's massively crooked. I can feel it. I can't even, it's not even a feel, I can see. Okay, much better, I think. Much better. Now, and in relation to the other stickers that I was thinking about putting on, they also have like a little bit of white outline, so it'll tie it better together. Whether or not I do that, that's not going to be today, but I do think that I will be doing a mid-year flip through of my reading journal, or at least I will try. So if you want to see that, then watch out for that, and then maybe this will look a little bit different with some more stuff going on, even though there's already so much stuff going on. Anyway, let's move on to the next page, which is the key. So this is going to be the easiest one. I just have to pick one and then we're fine. So I just have to find it. That is the worst part about doing my titles this way, is that I don't always know where the titles are and then I have to find them, and sometimes that is like the worst part. Excuse me, I don't see it. You're going to be watching this thinking I'm so stupid. It's right in front of my face. Oh, there's one, there's two, there's two, so they're here. Okay, they're here. So I can't do blue because that one didn't turn out, which is okay. What does this look like? I think a brown title is okay because this is going to have a lot of color distracting it down here. As you can already tell, I still have to put in the pens, and for these I mostly just need it for the dual brush pens. So there's already a lot of color going on, and I think using a brown key for that is totally okay. I think I might have made my titles smaller this year than what I normally would, and I don't know why, but I don't know. I don't remember what it was about it, but this is so small. This is so small. This is so small. Okay. I'm gonna put it maybe here. And then again, there is potential that it will have more going on the page later. But this is so much smaller than normal. Like, hold on. This is my reading journal from last year. I don't know that I necessarily posted about it a lot. But this is what that looked like last year. So it's so much smaller. Which is okay. It doesn't need to be big. Either way, it doesn't really matter anyway. Then we have the index. I just saw that. Oh, here. Okay. So we have, yes, they are all here. And I thought about doing a pink, actually. I haven't done pink yet. Because I think the brown, nope, I think the orange is going to be too warm. And I think that's going to be too similar already. And I've already done the other colors, which I don't have a problem with doing a color more than once. But I think when you have such a big palette, it is also important to make sure to establish your palette earlier on. See, and I think this one's small. Is this too small? Am I crazy? Or is this... I'm thinking it might be too small. That's so crooked. Yeah, see, I think the pink looks nice. Is that too small? I can't decide. Because I think it'll look fine for the other... I think it'll look fine for the other pages. So maybe I redo those, actually. Because they seem too small for the page. And it's like an important page. This is starting off so well, isn't it? So that's the plan. I'm going to redo those. At least now I know what color I want to do, I think. And I'm going to redo them bigger because I think that's just the move here, really. We got the actual title page, so that's okay. And I think it looks really nice. Okay, moving on from the index, we have this page, which I kind of showed you. This is my personal library, and I think it's so cool. It is filled out. Some of this stuff is filled out. You're going to see that's the setup. But what I did was I wrote down basically every single book that I owned at the beginning of 2026 by hand, and then I had some space left over, so some of the books that I got after the year started, I just put them in to fill it out. But yeah, that's crazy. And then I did this outline. So I will say, a lot of these spreads, I took inspiration from some other YouTubers, and I just scoured a bunch of videos, so I don't remember exactly who gave me inspiration for what, so I'm sorry about that. But just so you know, a lot of these did have inspiration. If I can figure out who, I will put it in the description. For sure. So let's figure out here. We have a lot of brown going on, so I don't want the title to be brown on this one. And then this background actually has some like red and green and almost yellow blue going on. So we have a good amount of free reign to do here, and I'm so excited. So it is going to say my personal library. So I need to find those. Personal is here. Okay, library is here. So we just need my. Found them. Okay, see, and like I said, doing them in multiple colors, that means that you have enough, but I also did do some of them. I think it was mostly the words that you would see over and over. So we have my and then reads. I just did them over and over just so that I knew that I would have enough. So I need 3 colors. I think I can do a green for sure. Whether or not I do it in this though, it's gonna start about here, I think, so I don't think that one should be green. Maybe personal could be green. What if I do orange? I haven't done orange yet. So I could do my personal. Ooh, this is a struggle because I think the green and the orange look really nice together, but I'm not sure that they look good with like the other colors. So I could do a brown, but I didn't really want to do a brown. I don't want to do a brown. Maybe blue, green, orange. Yeah, maybe blue, green, orange actually. We'll see that. So I'm going to put personal down first so I can get the spacing right for that, and then I'll do my. Let's see. Okay. Okay. About here, I think. Yeah. Oh, cute. We'll do blue my. I'm so excited that I'm filming this video now. I have been wanting to start I'm so excited about this journal and the pages that I made this year that I have just been wanting to fill it out so badly. But I knew that I really wanted to do this video of some sort of like a flip through of the beginning, a flip through of the setup, or just putting it together in whatever capacity. I really knew that I wanted to do that this year, so I was holding off filling out anything, and I've been reading this year, and I'm so excited for all the reading that I've been doing this year, and I've been filming videos. I'm not getting this word up. So I'm just so excited to be doing this video so I can finally start filling out my reading journal, because I think it looks so good. I don't know that I can get this off in one piece. Oh no! What if I do blue again? What if I just do the blue again? Can I get the blue? Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're just gonna do the blue. And I think it'll look fine. I think it'll offset the brown decently well. Yeah. Is that is that up higher on the page? Okay, I think this actually looks so good. I think the blue and the green work really well, actually. I think it looks pretty good. So next, this is my goals, which is funny that we have another my, and then this is my StoryGraph challenge. It was going to be Goodreads, but I kind of don't really use Goodreads anymore. I really do like StoryGraph better. So I know exactly where the StoryGraph is, because I just recently changed that, so I have this right here ready to go. And then challenge is on this page, and then the my's are here. Then I just need goal. Okay, so this is what the page looks like. They have the same kind of colors going on there. So I think we could do this one orange. We could finally do the orange over here to sort of offset that. And then this one could be green. The green goals did not work out, so that's not going to happen. Oh, I have an idea. Okay, so we're going to do green my. Oh, I hope this doesn't blend in too much with that. But it does have the white border, so I think it'll be fine. Yeah, I think that looks nice, actually. Great. Okay, and now my idea. We're going to do green StoryGraph. Oh, we could have done reading challenge. Just realized that. But that's okay. I've already got StoryGraph out. Okay. So it's going to go about here, I think. Lovely. I think that looks so good. And then, wait, this is my idea. I lied. My idea is not working. I'm going to take this off. I have a backup idea. And instead, going to use the dark brown. I think it looks nice. I don't think I've used that yet anyway, so that's okay. And then I'm going to use the brown challenge. So they're like mirroring each other. I think that looks so nice. Oh, yay. And then like we have the mirroring going on there and then that. Yeah, so good. So now, as you can see, this side's blank. This side is just the numbers. I'm doing 52. I do have space for 3 more, so we'll see how that goes. I like to do 52 because it gives you the sort of idea of 1 book per week situation for the year. But obviously, my goals are empty. Por favor, I need some ideas because I'm not very good at this. So let's move on to the next page. I'm so excited for the next page. What I'm going to do for the title, I'm very much so unsure, but I'm so excited for the next page. It's probably my favorite out of all the spreads. I'm just so excited for the next spread. You just don't understand. It took so long to do and it worked out and I think it looks so good. This is my physical TBR, my personal physical TBR. But this is what it looks like. It's very similar to my personal library with these Dutch doors, and in where my personal library was every book that I own, this is every book on my physical TBR. And it's actually all the way filled out and it's so cool. It's so cool. I spent so much time figuring this out. Once I had the idea, I was like, nothing's going to stop me now. It's so cool. Oh my god, I like ruined my 01 Sakura Micron, Pigma Micron. I like ruined it to do this and it was worth it because this looks so good. So the idea here is that every time I finish a book on my physical TBR, I put the cover in. So I have all the covers printed in the right size. It's going to be so small and it's going to cover up the title and it's going to look so cool and I'm so excited. Okay, so the title should be 2026 Physical to be Read, I believe. I didn't do TBR and anything. This one has physical. Lovely. Okay, so we have the 2026s. And then that one is messed up, so we need this page. So what happened was when I put the marker into my Cricut, I forgot to close the chamber for it, so they came out looking like that. So I had to redo the entire page just for those ones, and it was such a hassle. Obviously, it's very muted beige sort of colors with a little bit of yellow. I don't use yellow for my titles though. So I think now is going to be a good time to use the brown color that I was trying to do here in something. Maybe the red can be that color. So maybe we'll do the red in this color. And we could do the 2026 in the orange. Because it's yellow, it's orange, it'll go cool. So 2026, and then we have 2B physical to be red. Actually, what if I do the brighter colors then? So I don't do a green and orange or dark brown, and instead I do purple, pink, blue, light brown. But there are 7 colors, and there are 5 words for 2026 physical to be red. Let's see orange 2026, like I said. We'll keep orange 2026. Physical I have purple or pink. So maybe purple. Maybe I don't like orange then. So it's going to be 2026 physical to be red. I have an idea. I know I put like every color almost on the page. I know I did so many different colors for the title, and call me crazy, but I think it actually looks pretty good. I think it does. I think it's going to blend and look a lot better once I start putting the covers in down here. So I think it'll just look good once it all comes together and it starts to be filled out. So the next page is another page that I'm really excited for. I'm so happy to be like working on it because I'm not the best when it comes to working on some of these little pages and challenges, but I'm doing it. So the next page is my 26 in 2026, and I absolutely know that I want a title. I think just a little bit of color, maybe mostly brown like the rest of the page, but a little bit of color, I think. So let's just go ahead and find the stickers first. Now, here is my issue, because I was playing around with this title and some of the stickers are just not coming off the page very well, and that's okay. I was actually really prepared for that. So I have 26 in brown. That might work. 26 in 2026. So I could do the in as my little pop of color, or I could do the in as my brown. So if I do the in as my brown, my pop of color, I think I want it to be uniform, so I want 26 in 2026 to be blue. I think that's what I'm gonna go with. What colors are these covers actually? So you're blue, you're blue, you're blue, you're blue. You have blue. Those are purple. You have blue. So I think that could be good. Blue to sort of tie in a little bit with the rest of them. I think that could be good. I need to find blue 26. Here we go. I'm gonna go about there. Ah! My tweezers are too far down on the word. No, don't. Don't rip, please. I would be really sad if it ripped. I have had in the past where a title ripped and I fixed it enough to be able to still put it on, but I would still be sad. And then I will go back through and erase all my pencil marks later. Cute! I'm so excited. Oh, cute. Okay, the next page. Okay, my anticipated releases. This one's really fun. Obviously, I have it like filled out. I'm so happy with all these books that I've got here. It's so fun. I have the book cover. They have a little bit of like an outline of paper behind it. I don't know if you can really tell on the camera that far away. Can I zoom? And then they have these 3 lines. I don't know if you can tell, but they are alternating between like my light beige and then my light pink. And so what they're going to show is the day that it comes out, the day that I finished it, and then what my rating is. And I just have all these ones just for funsies, just to see. And then I did have this here. You can obviously see there's nothing here. I did pick out some books that could go here, and I was actually going to do these 2 because I didn't want to try and figure out how to do the lines and everything over here, but I just decided to keep it like that. And I think it looks really fine actually. So I need anticipated and releases. I've done all the colors now, I should have. So I can choose literally whatever I want here. And I'm thinking I might go pink title because I don't know if you can tell, but there is like this background paper there and it is pink, and then this washi tape has a lot of pink going on, and then there's already some pinks, but then there's also the beige, and then there's, I think, pink title. Or because I did the dark brown here, I did do the light brown here, but I think I'm actually going to go light brown pink. So light anticipated pink releases. Oh, but I don't have the pink releases. Where's pink releases? I guess I could go the other way. I do have the light brown releases though, and then pink anticipated, so I can just go the other way. I was trying to do opposite because I have pink first on 2026 physical TBR, so I was trying to go opposite of that, but it's not the end of the world if it looks the same across some of the pages. It's really not. Yeah, my A is a little bit wonky. I didn't get all the sticky for the A. I feel I jinxed myself. It's fine. I can fix it. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Resolution for 2026. Get better handwriting. Yeah. Who's gonna know? They're not gonna know. Nobody's gonna know. We're going. That's for sure. What's the next page? Oh, okay, cool. So this is my BookTube page. I do have BookTube, but honestly I'm not entirely sure how I want to do this because this side is for ideas and this side is for growth. And this was just like a last minute addition because I had a different idea here and I did not like it. And I had already done a lot of the other stuff. So I have hashtag BookTube. And I do have ideas and growth done. Nope, I know what to do. I know. Okay, here's what I've got. I might move this a little bit over. I was kind of thinking about putting them together, but I think once I put growth in, it'll be more centered. So I'm going to do that. But I have looked all over these sticker sheets and I cannot find growth. So I don't know what I did, but I guess I didn't do it. So I'm going to have to do that. Unfortunately, that's not going to be something that you see, and I'm sorry. Yeah, that's much more centered. Great. So this is what I've got going, though, so I am going to do growth in that color again. Like I said, I just cannot find it. I cannot find it. I do not know. I guess I just didn't do it. I don't know why, but it's fine. This is what we've got, and I think it looks really nice, and I think once I get growth in there, it'll look really nice, and obviously erase all the pencils. So yeah, I know I have pink. I thought about doing pink on the title, but I think it's too much, and I don't think it looks quite right. So then the next page is my reading log. Okay, there, the reading. Okay, there's some more logs. So I think I might do it in purple, actually. This is actually my first year using purple in the titles. It'll be the only part of this spread that is color. The rest of it, like everything that's written in here, will be black. So I think it could be a nice little pop of color to have. And it'll look nice next to the next page. Okay, unfortunately that idea is SOL. The reading is just not coming off. I'm kind of sad for... Oh, I guess I have another one. I have another one. I hope that whatever else the title reading is for doesn't... I hope I don't want to do purple. Because I am really set on it for this page now. I really want it to be purple. There. Okay, and now let's hope and pray log comes. Shut up. Oh, that is lovely. Thank you so much. About there. Cute! Oh, I actually really like it. Heck yeah. Good, good, good. Okay, now this next page, I'm debating even giving an actual title because you kind of know what it is. And I think the pages after aren't getting a title, but that's not what we're doing right now. It's just the next page. So the next page is the 2026 books read shelf. I'm not sure if I'm going to fill them in by genre or by star rating. I'm not entirely sure yet, but this is it. Either way, I do have whatever it's going to be in the key. So I was thinking of putting the title down here. That's why I gave it more space. So it'd be 2026 Books Read Shelf. But does it really need a title? I wonder. It would connect to some of the stuff in here because I do have all the browns. That's the lighter pink. That's not actually the pink. But I do even have like the green, the purple. So I guess I could. So let's just go through and try and see if I can find it. So it's the 2026 Books Read Shelf. Not you. Shelf. Red. 2026. Ooh, we only have like the light brown. And then the green. So I have 2026. Red and shelf. So I need books. Oh, book. Lovely. I think I would want to do the green then. Is it gonna come off though? Yes. Splendid. Just gonna put that to the side for a moment. So I've got green for 2026. What if green, blue, purple, pink? Yeah? I think that'll look cute. So I'm going to put shelf down first. Perfect. Okay, now I'm going to work backwards on the title. Rude. Like that. Books. Like that. And 2026. Like that. Yeah, okay, that's much better with them a little bit closer. I think it looks really nice. It might look a little off because 3 words are over here and only 1 is over here, but I think it looks nice because there's more decoration on this side. And who knows, maybe I'll add some more stuff. Who knows? Okay, now the next spread is not getting a traditional title, but I am going to be putting stickers on them. And I'm so excited for this spread. You're going to think that it's so cool. Okay, are you ready? Because I'm not ready to show you. It's so cool. It doesn't even fit. Isn't that so cool? Oh my gosh. So, it is the entire calendar so that I can just flip it out and see my whole year read. Isn't that so cool? I know that I specifically got the idea for this from Katie's reading, and she did it differently so that it was like just a flip out and it wasn't like so much, but I really thought it would be cool to just be able to unfold the whole thing. I will say I do need your help a little bit because if you can't tell, my hinges are kind of ugly. Okay, they're kind of ugly. I don't have clear paper and I didn't want to have a shiny something going on, so this one was a lot easier because nobody was going to see that part, but this one was harder because the other side is this, and then obviously the other side is the other page, so I'm not sure what to do here. I have washi tape and stuff, but I don't know. So give me some ideas on how to make at least this one look a little bit better. This one, it's just here on the top, so I can like get over that. But just to make that look a little bit better, any ideas would be so appreciated. What I mean with this, where I'm not actually going to do like a full title, obviously I don't have anywhere to put really like a full title situation, so instead I have the months. I just made these today, and if you didn't see, they're actually corresponded to the key for how I do my months because I color coordinate everything and it is kind of color, so it's gonna be so fun to see it all put together and I'm so excited. So that's what I'm going to do for these. Since I have all of that done, I will need to put in the numbers for the months and then fill all that out, but I'm not going to do that with you today because I already know this video is already quite long and there are other spreads that need to have much more done. Isn't it so cool though? Oh, I think it looks so cool. Now here's my thing. I might want to put them like, if there's a space like this, put them there, you know? I just kind of put them wherever I put them. Or do I stick to the corners? Maybe I'll just do more like center-ish, because it's not going to be super centered, but like more of a center-ish of that space. And then obviously it looks a little like meh now, but it will look better again when it's filled out and we see the colors. So if you don't know how this is supposed to kind of go, it's basically going to be like the StoryGraph calendar, where you put a line on there color coordinated to your read, and then you can see whatever day you were reading whatever books. And then I'm planning on doing mini calendars like this, formatted obviously a little bit differently for each month for the monthly spreads, and then it's gonna coordinate that way too. So then I don't have to worry about coming back to this all the time. I can just go to my monthly one and then do that. And I think it's gonna be so fun. I'm so excited to do that. Okay, and then here we have them all. I accidentally had a mishap with my card, my memory card, so if it looks like I'm at a different place on my table, it probably is, because my memory cards, I'm filming a lot of videos at the same time, so I lose space rather quickly. So I went ahead a little bit farther than you, and I'm sorry. Here's what it looks like. I realized that September, my Cricut didn't really do September justice. The S isn't quite there, but I think it looks really cool. I think it's really cute. So then moving on, this was the only other page that I did, which is the stats, and I just put the stats in dark brown up here. I think it looks really nice, actually. I think it works really well with these. And so the way that it works is for every month, I just fill in these, and it's read, reread, physical, digital, audio, average rating, all the individual star ratings, genre, and then total page. And for genre, obviously that might sound like, how are you going to write in every genre that you've read? But actually the way that I do it is I try to read one of every genre in a year, because I tend to stick with what I like and then that's it. And I try to be more diverse with my reads. And the way that I do that is off of there, the key, which I have these here, and there's 8, so it's classic fantasy fiction, graphic novel, historical fiction, non-fiction, romance, and science fiction, and I will just count these. So then in January, say I read a graphic novel, that's 1, but if in February I read a historical fiction, that's 2, and then in March, if I read another graphic novel, then that's just 2 again. So that's how that would work. And then obviously total pages. The totals on this side are a little bit misleading. The person whose page I was kind of going off of for inspiration had the months and the stats the other way, which is unfortunate for me because that made this a little off, but I like to track a lot more stuff. So the way that this will go actually is these will be totaled this way, where red is the top and total page is the bottom, except I will not be doing average rating because there's 13 of these, 12 of these, and average rating is just, I mean, it's the average rating. I think that's the one that I'm not going to do. Maybe. I'm not quite decided yet, I think. Maybe I won't do rereads because it's like, it's a reread, it's fine. I don't know. I guess I'm still trying to figure that out. So anyway, moving on to the next page, we have arcs and rereads. This is going to work the same as my 26 and 2026, and also like my physical TBR, where I read the book and I put the cover in. So if I get a book and I read a book that's an arc, then I'll put the cover in. If I reread a book, I will put the cover in. And that's how that works. And I really like this page. I think this is so fun. I used things that I hadn't used before, like this scrap paper and then these like paper doily things. I'd never used these, but I've had them for a couple years now. I think it looks so cute. So I think I'm going to lean into this and do arcs in orange and rereads in green. That's what I had a lot of fun with actually with this page, was doing the color coordination and picking out which of my scrapbook papers would fit this kind of well, and which ones would go together to make the kind of aesthetic of a color coordinated page. And I think it turned out really cute. I think it's really nice. It might bother me a little bit that this might seem a little off. I've been thinking about that, where there's some empty space here. I thought about perhaps adding in some sparkles, some like black pen sparkles in some of the empty spaces across the journal, because there are some. I don't tend to have a lot of empty spaces, so it's definitely weird for me this year to have them, and it was weird when I was setting it up because I was like, what do I do here? But also I don't think anything should fit there. I was like, I think it looks fine, but I think it also is just it could use that. And I think there's nothing wrong with wanting to add a little bit more. So I really feel adding in, oh, here's arcs. Yay. So I really feel like adding in maybe like some sparkles could help it. And I think partly it is the fact that my titles are smaller this year. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I like to say I'm never striving for perfection. I'm really just trying to make something that I'm going to like and I'm going to want to use. And that's all I want from my journals, is just the want to use them. Okay, now before I switch, I just wanted to say that I think this might be the first time I've added an ARCs page, maybe since the first journal that I did. I think I added it as like wishful thinking, and then I kind of dropped it off because I'm not very good at reaching out to get ARCs or anything, but I did just get an ARC last year and it was really, really fun, and I wish I had been able to put it somewhere special in my reading journal, so I really wanted to do that this year, so I have an ARCs page and I'm really excited. I'm really excited for that. So, moving on. We have my nonfiction and disability. It is giving the same, right? It's giving the same. I think it's so cool. So this one's going to be blue. This one's going to be purple. I made this one purple for a specific reason. And I will explain more when I find the words. Okay, so I think I don't actually have disability on here, which is unfortunate. But I'm pretty sure that I know why. So this was actually supposed to be nonfiction and did not finish, a DNF. But I don't tend to DNF actually, and I didn't really want to give space to books that I wasn't actually finishing, because if I'm not finishing a book, I have DNF'd. So if I'm not finishing a book, it's usually just because I don't like it enough to finish it, and there's just something about it that is not meshing with me, and I don't think that is the kind of thing that I want to give a spotlight to in my reading journal, so I decided to do disability instead. But I did find nonfiction, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that and explain why I chose the colors that I chose for this. So when it came to arcs and rereads, I just chose from what I had going on. So what I did was I knew that I wanted to do this idea of pages where I have this space for the covers, and then when I read the books I put them in. I knew that I really wanted to have pages like that. So I had a lot of these rectangles already cut out of a lot of different scrapbook paper from the pads that I got, and then I just used what I already had to make the arcs and rereads. And then when I was looking at it, and then I decided that I didn't want to do DNFs and I wanted to do disability instead. My problem was that I had this sectioned out for the rectangles for the covers sort of pages, and then this was going to be written. But when I decided to do nonfic and disability, I was like, actually, I want another place where I'm doing the covers, I think. So then I had to figure out which scrapbook paper to use and what colors to use, and it was actually really difficult because like getting blue was much easier than getting purple. There's not a lot of purple in either of the packs that I had, which is so unfortunate because I feel like purple is such an underrated color when it comes to crafts, and as somebody whose favorite color is purple, like it's just so sad that I never get to use it, or I don't get to use it as much as other colors because it's such an underrated color. But I pushed through and I think it looks really good. I like how some of them are, like, it's a little bit different from this, how it's much more easily told. And like even this side, they're just clashing a little bit more, but also still working together really well to show that like this side's purple, this side's blue, and you can see that. I chose these colors specifically because I wanted disability to be purple. Specifically, I wanted disability to be purple, and then I decided that doing blue would just be really fun. And I wanted disability to be purple because, like I've said so many times, purple is my favorite color, and I'm disabled, and my disability ribbon color is purple. So I knew that if I was going to do anything disability related, it was going to be purple. Okay, That's a lie. Is it a lie? I don't know what this is. No, I do know what this is. Oh. Okay. Why did I do that? Now I'm so confused. Why did I do that? I think I rearranged some stuff that I'm just not aware of. So this is supposed to be school and DNF. And I just went on that tangent about why I didn't do DNF. Maybe I had disability here and then I switched them? I'm actually not sure. I'm not even sure that I have school in the titles. Oh, I think I added this page. I'm not even sure that I have school in the titles at all, though. I definitely don't. Okay, so I guess this is school, this is DNFs. I might just choose something else to put over here instead of DNFs, but I know that I wanted to do a page for school. Maybe I'll do this side something else because this side is so puckered from the liquid glue, and then this side can be school, so that it's nicer. But I knew that I wanted to do one page school because I'm graduating this semester. I'm graduating literally in about like a month and a half. And I knew that I wanted a place to track my school reads because it's the end of my undergrad, but then also I will be going to grad school this fall, and I wanted to track the reads from when I start grad school. But I don't really have, I'm not going to do this. We're just going to go to the next one. This is my series tracker. I love this one. I think it's so fun. So let's get the stuff out. We have one series there. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it pink or what. Maybe I'll make this one like an all brown page, but then like this one is also brown. So I'm just going to do the light brown, and then I think I will fill them in with my really light pink Tombow. So it's going to go series tracker. Obviously, it's going to look a little bit lopsided because tracker is longer than series. So, and then the way that this one works is these are duologies, trilogies, and then these are quartets and higher. I haven't filled them out. I am not sure how I'm going to do it, but I think I'm going to do something to show the lines. I might just do a light Tombow highlight. Maybe I'll do the pink and the brown again like I did with the anticipated releases on this spread too. Okay, now next we have the publication timeline. This is going to be the key, I think, in some capacity, so I'm going to leave that there. And then I think I'm going to put the title up here. And then the way that this will work is I will fill in sort of wherever it works the book that I read on the year that it was published. So if it was published in 2025, then I would fill it out like that. And then the way that they're spread is these markers are 10 years apart and these are 5. Well, that's, yeah, these are 5. And then I gave it one extra here for 2026 and then one extra there for 1949. And I only went down to 1949, even though I have some books that are older, just because I didn't really care to go that much older, because I know that I'm probably not going to read a lot of books on this side of the page already. So we need publication timeline. Maybe I'll do blue. I haven't done blue in a little while, right? Oh no, I did blue for nonfiction. That's okay. I can still do blue again. I think next year my palette for my reading journal is, like my color palette for my reading journal is finally going to change. Don't get me wrong, I still think that these colors go well together, but if you haven't seen my other like social posts about my reading journal over the years, I've used these same exact markers every year. I use the same color palette for it every single year, and I just adjust the spreads based off of what does or does not work for me, and I just use these same exact markers. And I think I'm finally ready to change. I'm really indecisive, as you can tell, but I think I'm just finally ready to actually change and do something different. Okay, now we have another spread that was definitely inspired by what I saw on YouTube. Again, I don't remember exactly who the creator was, but I remember that hers was specifically because she actually draws and like makes the maps for some books. So this is the My Maps page where it's going to be the cover and the map of a book that I've read. This looks smaller than that. Oh, I put that line in the wrong space. That's unfortunate. Obviously, as you can tell, this one isn't really finished either, and I don't think it's going to be until I start putting in the books and the maps. But this is basically where the book cover would go, and then the map would go over there, and maybe something about the book could go in there, but I'm not entirely sure. So we need my and maps. And I think this one's going to be a brown. Maybe the dark brown, I think, would go nice with this one, actually. Go my. So we have my, and then maps. Yeah, I'm really sad for that. But again, I don't strive for perfection. Will I fix it? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, next we have Read the Rainbow and then Book to Screen. I believe that's what I'm calling that one. So we'll start with Read the Rainbow. And I have an idea of how I want the colors to go for this because I do it the same every year, but I like how I do it every year. Rainbow. Ooh, the lovely, lovely, lovely. We have Read the Rainbow. Perfect. Technically, I think it's supposed to be Read Around the Rainbow. Do I have around, actually? I think I made it to just read the. I don't think I have around, so that's fine. That's unfortunate because I would have had boop, 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 boop. Now I just have Read the Rainbow, so I have to figure out where I want to doop, doop, doop. I'm not sure I'm sold. I think something needs to be here. What? I don't know. But I do like it. You know, we got Read the Rainbow. Do you see the vision? I see the vision. So let's go over here. We have Book to Screen. What color? Maybe a pink page. Maybe a pink page because we have that. It's got all the pink going on. I think it'll be cute. I found two. And I already knew where Screen was, but I'm not finding Book, and I think I might not have Book singular on here, actually. Which is weird, because I thought that I had another page that was Book singular, but I think it might have actually been Book plural. But at the very least, we have two Screen, so that's fine. I will work backwards on this. It's going to be another one that's going like that. That's what we're doing. Screen. At least we know it's Screen. So, next page. Oh, lovely. We have the alphabet challenge and then Book Bingo. Perfect. Okay. And now Bingo. I think I'm going to go Book Bingo. Normally, I just put them both there, but I kind of made it up farther because I had this. So, I think I'm going to go Book Bingo, and I think I might do it in the center again, honestly, like that. So then I just need this one. That's better. And then Book will go up there, I guess. And then how this one will work, the alphabet challenge is the alphabet challenge. I think I'm gonna go by the cover, no, by the title. I would love to try and do by the title specifically. If I need to, I will go by author. But I much prefer the idea of doing it by title. So I will try. So basically the first letter of the title corresponds to the letter of the alphabet. And then this is the Book Bingo. My family, we are big on bingo. I will never stop doing Book Bingo. And I tend to also do whatever I do for like my goals will be my Book Bingo or vice versa. So I have it as like a Dutch door situation, and the way that this works is this will be the prompt, and then I will color it in whenever I do the prompt, and then down here I will put the actual title of the book so that I know which books I've used. And I try to use only one book, or use a book only once, but I am open to the idea of using a book twice. But I attempt to not do that. Okay. Oh, next we have Monthly Favorites and Reading Matrix. I do them both, and then even on the next page I have the book bracket, and I do the bracket and the matrix even though they give you different answers just because I think it's kind of fun. I might end up getting rid of the bracket at some point, but I don't know yet. I don't know. I really like this page actually. Out of my whole journal, I think this one's just super cute. I think next year I'm going to go a little bit more simple with the designs. I don't know yet. So this is monthly favorites and reading matrix. So let's start with monthly favorites. What's nice is because it's like this, I can choose whatever colors that I want. What did I do? So I did a lot of pink. I've done a lot of pink. I haven't done blue in a while, so maybe I'll do a blue. This will work where I put in the cover of whatever my monthly fave is. If you don't know how the matrix works, basically I will like assign these a number, so genuinely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. And then based on that, they will go up against each other. So 1 and 2, so say 1 is better than 2, I think, then I will put 1, but then if 3 is better than 1, then I will put 3, and so forth, and then you put the totals, and then that's how you figure out what is your highest book, your best book of the year. And then I'm going to put this a little bit higher than monthly faves. Matrix will go here. I think it balances really well because this is a lot more lights, and then this has a lot more of the pastels, and then like more of the deeper in the, yeah. Great, okay, and now like I said, we have the book bracket. Obviously I don't have books, so I need bracket. And I think I might do this a brown. Oh, I have a sticker that I might put here actually, so maybe I'll do reading bracket sticker. Yeah. Cool, okay, reading bracket sticker. And then this will be based off of that. So I will put the months in at some point, I guess. Oh, next we have 5-star reads. I debated on this one so hard because the way that I have them is that these are 5 by 8, but then if I put them 5 by 8, then that makes them stop here, and obviously my titles, like I said, are quite small now, so then this gives it like such a big amount of space, and I don't know if I like that, but I can't really put them up because if I put them up, then this takes out 2, because right now I'm okay with this one only going like one corner, one square into that, but then doing 2, I don't really like that, so that would take out that. But then the way that this is now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh! Okay, so I'm going to put them up actually. And I think I'm going to go here. No, maybe here. And then go over to here. And then I'm going to put the 5 maybe about here. Here. Okay, and there's a specific reason that I chose these colors, because purple is my favorite color, and then also the start has to be yellow. So when I do these, I'm going to alternate purple and yellow when I do them. I think it's just really cute right now. Okay. Oh, next is major swooners and major weepers. So these are going to be maybe the easiest ones to figure out the colors for. And then this is major swooners and major weepers. Oh, lovely. We are getting into the last ones, you guys. We are in the long stretch. Okay, this is dedications. Dedications, basically what I do is every book that I read, every book anybody reads, has a dedication. And I think it's really sad that we kind of overlook them as much as we do. And I think it would be really fun. And I've been doing this basically, I think, since I started a reading journal. But I always think it's really fun to document the dedications because they're meaningful and we never pay attention to them. So the whole point Is this crooked? Did I go up with it too much? I think I did. Okay. And so the whole point is that every time I read a book, I will put in the dedication from the book into this page, and I'm probably going to end up using my Pigma microns. I have the 5-point in a lot of different colors. I think I might try and get a smaller size and more colors, but basically I'm going to try and fill up as much of the blank space as I can with the books. I don't know why my camera is struggling to focus so much. Which brings us to the next page, which obviously looks quite similar. And this is going to be first lines, which is kind of the same thing, but where I do dedications because I feel like we kind of don't pay attention to them enough. This is different because instead of paying attention more to things, I just think it would be really fun to track the first lines and see how first lines can be so different. I don't know what color I'm going to do for this. Here's the deal. If I can get first off with no problems, minimal problems, I'll do pink. If not, I think I might do dark brown or light brown. I'll do a brown. Yeah, it's already just not working. That is so unfortunate. Nope. Nope. And I think that looks nice. Yes, yes, yes. And then the very last spread, obviously, looks very familiar. This is the last line spread. So, where we have the page that will have the written dedications for every book, and then the page that will have the written first line, first sentence, whatever, of every book, we now have the last line, last sentence of every book. And I know exactly what I want this one to be, so I'm so excited. I need to find the page because I just rearranged them all. The funny thing, so there's purple done here, which is why I just decided to do purple. The funniest part about this though is that this is my first year using purple for titles. I never did it before. It was always just an accent color, and that's why I'm having like more of a hard time this year, is because I used more of the colors for the titles because I don't normally use all of these colors for the title. It's okay, I fixed it. Okay. I think they look pretty darn straight now. I don't know what else I can do to actually fix that. I think I've just been looking at them at this for so long that now everything looks crooked. But that is the last spread to actually set up in my setup of my reading journal. The only next spread is called my collage, where I try to do a collage of all the books that I've read this year, whatever year the reading journal is, to sort of see what the reads looked like. But that is it. So we will do just one last flip through here of the whole thing, and then that is it. And then the next time you see it will hopefully be, at least hopefully be the mid-year flip through. Yeah, the mid-year flip through.